Jamming. Okay, yellow. Okay. Yesterday, I think. Okay, I was passing global events, and I noticed. What did I notice? Right. The length of the string needs to be rounded up the next byte, because, for instance, let's say we have string length of 2, so this would be 200. That's the string length byte, and then the actual string comes along. So let's say this is, won't be A, but say 22, 119, 120, right? And there's a null character, but since each word needs to be like at least 32 bits, is what I'm guessing. They use 32-bit words, I think. So there's a filler, or like a padding. And then comes the rest of the packet. That's what I understand. So what I need to do is when I read the string, if it's 2, I need to like round, it's not rounding up either. It needs to read 4, like the closest 4 multiple. That's one of the things I gotta do. And then I pass the error. Once those are passed, then I should be able to be fairly quick. And get a surface or whatever we need to do. All right. It would be nice to have like a to-do list on the side. Anywho. There must be, like, somebody must have done it. Round up to 4 bytes. Number to an in-size boundary, number of bytes. Code first adds 3 to the number, then it zeroes out the last 2 bits to round down to a multiple of 4s. It's like, oh, okay, there was already in size n is size of n size of int minus 1. Okay. What's the and for? And what does that do? The tilde. Size of n plus size of int minus 1 and bitwise and. Isn't this not of size of int minus 1? Zig. Operators. Maybe they use the same. Oh yeah, bitwise not. That was good guess. And not of size of int minus 1. Will that always lead to 4? All right, let's copy that. Say, let's call it in size. Word size. Right. Oh, hang on. What was it called? Wayland. App. No, no, not this. Wayland. No. I think it was the book. I need that as well. Let's call it in size. In size. I need an N and a T is type. Then I need N, which is of type T. Returns T. How do you, or is it type? Just return it for now. Come back to that. Do want to verify something. Well, design, where protocol design, protocol basics, word. Right, a string prefix with 32-bit integer specifying its length, followed by the string contents and null terminator, added to 32 bits with undefined data. There we go. That's what it's called. Added to 32 bits. Okay. All right, so what are we doing? So it's size of T plus size of, I mean, aren't they the both type? The same type. All right. And this would be T. But this, what will be its type? Or does it even matter? I can be T. So this would be bytes -1. And is double and not of size of t minus 1. Okay, but I'm not sure what this is doing yet. Size of, let's say city is U32, bytes is 13 or 3. Let's start with 3. 13. Yeah. So this will mean there's a 1, 0. There's 3 padding in the end. Let's say it's 1. Because it would need 4 words. 4 times 4 is 16. This is the null terminated. Null terminator. These two are the padding. So size of bytes. So it's size of U32 is 4 plus. Oh, this is not size of bytes. It's bytes. Hang on. So this becomes 13 plus 4 minus 1. And not of 4 minus 1. So this will become 17 minus 1 is 16. Interesting. What if it was 14? 18 minus 1, 17. Okay, it's just coincidence. 16. And not of 3. Is there a way to find out what is this? What if I just did does bash even do that? Yeah. Think I can use this. Talon. What was it again? Out of 3. The node is different. Okay, that is the right. What if it was 17? Because the right side would always be 3. Because it's size of t minus 1. How is that? How does that work? It's like so weird. What about 18? That is wild. Fucking bats doing its thing. And I think at 20, this should be 20. Yeah, that is correct. And at 16, there should be 16. Wild. Wild stuff. I don't know how this works. There must be an explanation. Okay, so now I can get rid of this. So instead of interface len, this should be in size of U32 interface. Oh, it takes a U size. I think it might do a cast. Save, build, run. The version number is still not right. Can I print standard debugger print any self-debug? Bitwise not operation on type containment. Why is that a problem now? Time. Why is it time? And can I do because size of t minus 1 is a containment. Do I need to like explicitly cast it? Why is that a problem? Device operation time. For com time no values. Hello, Algoland UZ. Type design blah blah. Class 54. To com time end. Which is cast to 10.8. Where are these numbers coming from? But that's not what I'm looking for. Well, why can't you do like bitwise operation on a com time end? Because it can still be known at com time. Bitwise not operation on com time end. There we go. That looks related. So if I say T, so how does that even make sense? Yeah. Oh, sorry, because I think I'm applying it to the wrong one. No, I'm not sure I understand. Bitwise not an arbitrary precision ends is often defined to operate on effectively infinitely many bits in 2's complement sign form, which means not of x equals minus x minus 1. You should probably be thinking about and specifying the number of bits rather than using. You're thinking about specifying the number of bits rather than using effectively infinitely many bits. I'm using the wrong operator. What's the caret do? Here. Oh, it's an XOR. Okay, I could actually do that. That's as t comma okay, that works. All right, why? Okay, the version looks right now. Okay, let that work. Okay. Interface. That's global event. Don't need that. So it should return debugger. Oh no, I'm a bit far away from building the debugger. Right now I'm getting the window to work. I was using X11 before, but since I upgraded the computer, I mean, I should still be able to use X11. But anyway, since I upgraded the computer, the new OS, something, was rewritten in Rust. So they use Wayland in the upgraded OS. It says in Wayland that you can still use X11. But I thought it's a good opportunity to try out Wayland. So I'm trying to get the window to work so that I can continue working on the debugger. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I think it's kind of fun. I like it. Cross global event. What does it return? Global. I want to see global event interface. What are these errors? Parse global. Info. Find event. Okay, I've got to remove some of the. Oh, that makes sense because I'm printing it in the wrong place. Oh, I don't need this yet. Global event. Dot interface. And I'll get to the others after. Interesting. So why can't it read it as a string? I'm a bit confused. I think I'm printing it in the wrong order. Alright, let me look at these errors. Valid error event arguments. I mean, it does kind of look like a string. It's also null terminated. Handle registry event. Registry to parse global event. Where is display? Yeah. Okay, it's the registry event. Why am I using the same methods? Maybe this doesn't work. Let's try the same standard. Mem.bytes to value. Price of const you wait. About that. Given a pointer to an array of bytes, returns a value of the specified type backed by. Yeah, it returns a value, so maybe bytes as value. It doesn't make sense because they're both bytes anyways. expected type slice of constituent found alignment 1 constituent. Zig bytes to constituent. Yeah, but I think there's a problem. What is align? Alignments. Each type has an alignment number bytes such that when a value of the type is loaded from or stored to memory, the memory address must be divisible by this number. You can use align of to find out this value for any type. Alright, let me just leave it as it was. Standard debug to print. It's a D. I think so. Line of slice of constituent. Then line of type of self-dub buff. I mean, they look the same. So does that mean I can't just read it this way? The alignment of both is the same. What is this alignment? Like a number of bytes such that when a value of the type is loaded from or stored to memory, the memory address must be evenly divisible by this number. When a value of the type, so when the value is loaded from or stored to memory, the memory address must be evenly divisible by this number. It seems to be. Whoa. Oh no, that's right. So how come I can't read it as a string? Ah, that's why. Well, sometimes. Okay. Although there's still some minor problems. But at least we're able to read. What is it? I think it's D S D. Identify. Let me just call this G. G dot. What was the first value? Name. Name. Then G dot version. Okay, put the name. Version. No. Version. Interface. Okay, that's better. But what about this address? Debug the print. The eight bytes. Two 544. It's plenty. Okay, so invalid error. It's not even an error event. Unless there is one. That is weird. Handle registry event. Parse global event. That makes kind of confused. Parse global event. Oh, right. That's why. Registry event args. Okay, at least we have the right error. Debug dot rent self dot. Right. 20. Well, I guess this is not an error. Just return null. That means this will become. This is return an error. Yeah. I don't know if that is an error. It's only like 20 bytes. What could be there? Yeah, I think I'll just return null. Don't need this try. If J. Okay. Ah, I see. There were like more interfaces after. I mean, it looks like an order. Some weird paddings or like not fully read sockets info. Okay. I guess. What is this? Parse global. Oh, well, that would be a different parse, I think. Okay, let me just create an error. New ID. If I use an existing one, they should return an error. Oh, actually, I passed it already. 27. Okay, let's go. Get rid of standard debug. Don't need that. Okay. I think there should just be log. Okay. Now what do we do? Where is new ID? Not sure why it needs to start at 2. But anyway, it gives us a list of interfaces that we can then call, my guess. I think this is like the window manager. All right, so the next thing I'd like to check is What happens next? I think, I mean, I'm quite surprised I've gotten this far, so I didn't plan. Okay, let me check. Not this, don't need that. Don't need that either. What I need is this guy. Opening a socket, creating a registry, and it goes to the frame buffer. This is what we need. Did I create? Yeah, I think so, right? Do call get registry, yes. So I have created a registry. Parse the message. Utility function, blah. From this point on, the utility functions to send wayland messages will not be included in the code snippets for, okay, fine. Shared memory. To avoid drawing a frame in our application and having to send all the bytes over the socket to the compositor, there's a smarter approach. The buffer should be shared between the two processes so that no copying is required. Okay. I think that should be fine because that's what the X11 render, well, the render method was doing with X11. Exciting. Frame does not happen while we're still drawing it, and Wayland has its covered here. Okay, perfect. First, we need to create this buffer. I think we already have the buffer. We're going to make it easier for us by using a fixed size. Wayland is going to send us resize events whenever the window size changes, which we will acknowledge and ignore. I think I have a resize method, if I'm not wrong. Resize. Yep, right here. I just realized to do clear or the init previous memory. That's for later. Obviously, in a real application, you would resize the buffer. First, we introduce a struct that will hold all the client-side state so that, excuse me, so that we remember which resources we have created so far. We also need a super simple state machine for later to track whether the surface, i.e. the frame, should be drawn to as mentioned. Yeah, but I want a window. Registries, full buffer, base, surface, compositor, surface, top level. I do remember something about XDG shell. Create the wayland display. Up to this point, we've left crucial detail out for our explanation on how the wayland protocol manages joint ownership over objects between clients and server, how those objects are created in the first place. Wayland display or WL display implicitly exists on every wayland connection. Okay. It has the following interface. Yeah. Because that's how we get the registry. The most interesting of these for the average wayland user is get registry. Already done. Creating a display. Probably the rest. Not important unless you're writing your own sort of functions of the libel associated with display object. Okay, creating a display. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess this is as far as this book will go. Version, what? Create surface. That sounds useful. Ask the compositor to create a new surface. And what can you do with a surface? WL shell surface. An interface that may be implemented by a WL surface for implementation that provides a desktop style user interface. Provides requests to treat surfaces like top level, full screen, or pop-up windows. On the server side, this object is automatically destroyed when the related WL surface is destroyed. Viewporter. Create desktop style surfaces. Okay. The XDG WM base interface is exposed as a global object. I do remember seeing this. XD XDGWM base version 6. That's the version name is 40. Alright, anywho. It says version 7 here. But that's WM base. Oh yeah, here. Okay. Wonder if that makes a difference. The XDG WM base interface is exposed as a global object, enabling clients to turn their WL surfaces into Windows. So does that mean we need the surface? In a desktop environment, it defines basic functionality needed for clients and the compositor to create windows that can be dragged, resized, maximized, etc., as well as create transient windows such as pop-up menus. Okay, this is what we need. Destroy the XDG base object. Create positioner. Positioner object is used to position surface relative to some parent surface. Oh, interesting. I guess if you need a pop-up, like you need to let it know where. See the interface description and XDG surface to get pop-up for details. Right, makes sense. Get XDG surface. So you do need a surface. I go back here. Is that a surface? Oh yeah, create surface. So all you need is a new ID. Little compositor create surface. And it returns the ID. Where's the XML? Here. Compositor. Yeah. Interface double compositor. Create surface. So the opcode is 0. What about the events? There don't seem any event here. I guess there is no event. So it returns nothing. So that means that step cannot error. Go up. I'm gonna check WL compositor. Why does it go? Version 5. Okay, so I guess we can create a surface. Get registry. Copy this. Create surface. Socket buffer request header object ID opcode and message size. So this will be compositor. Where did it go? Here. So it's registry. And the next interface is callback. Then you get compositor. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. But let me just verify that I'm right. So That's pretty cool. How do you get out of it? Yeah. Registry displays the first interface. Yep. Registry. Callback and compositor. Okay. Compositor and the opcode. I forgot it was it like 0 indexed or 1 indexed. Oh, I can check. Get registry. 1. So it is 0 indexed. 0, 1. Okay. Go to 0. Message size is size of request. Oh, I need a new ID. I think I can send new ID U32. This will be new ID. I guess I could do the same here. New ID U32. False ID. Let's just create. I can't be constant. ID equals. How do you provide like default values? U32 equals 2. Can you do that? Increment. Tuple field has a name. Self ID would return. I can just call it new ID. U32. Return self.id. And then increment the ID after. .id plus equals 1. Do I need the IDs? ID dot new ID. I think I do need the ID. Can this Okay, hang on. Create surface. Needs the socket. Point to the buffer. ID dot new ID. I can keep track of the IDs later. This returns, yeah, sure. But I think it won't, yeah, anyway. I mean, that looks right. Second is values, message size. Okay, then so the request is kind of the same as except for the object. Right, okay. This should return us something. Surface. Let's just make it a variable. Event bytes is equal to that. Can this header? I think read can fail. Yep. Try that and then just print debug print create surface. Okay, that makes sense because there is no response. Okay, so now that we have the surface, we can create no positioner. Where did it go? Destroy. Pop-ups, etc., etc. Create a shell surface from a surface. There we go. This one. So we pass in the surface ID. We pass in a new ID to get the XDG surface. Okay. Seems like it doesn't return anything either. XDG surface. What is get top level? How do I know when something returns something? Post the client to list and bind the global objects available from the compositor. Just want to make sure. I don't see any. Oh, here. WL surface. An on-screen surface. Destroy, attach. Well, I guess. Whoa. Let me just read this. Set a buffer as the content of the surface. Interesting. The new size of the surface is calculated based on the buffer size transformed by the inverse buffer transform and the inverse buffer scale. This means that at commit time, the applied buffer size must be an integer multiple of the buffer scale. If not, that's not the case, an invalid size error is sent. The x and y arguments specify the location of the new pending buffer's upper left corner relative to the current buffer's upper left corner in surface local coordinates. In other words, the x and y are combined with the new surface size, define in which directions the surface size changes. Out of coffee. Setting anything other than 0 as x and y arguments is discouraged. Okay. I feel discouraged to use anything else. We should instead be replaced with using this separate WL surface offset request. When the bound WL surface version is 5 or higher, passing any non-zero x or y is a protocol violation. What is my WL surface? Well, I guess the compositor is version 5. So that makes the surface version 5 as well. Achieve equivalent semantics, use WL surface offset. Okay, surface contents are double buffered state, see WL surface.commit. The initial surface contents are void. There is no content. WL surface attach assigns the given WL buffer as a pending WL buffer. WL surface commit makes pending WL the new surface contents and the size. Hey, I just realized something. Error IT. How was I parsing the error? Edit event. Oh, because the message was the last object, so it doesn't matter. I was thinking why I didn't need to round up. I can remove these. Can remove that. Okay. I do think this is going a little bit. What is XDG? XDGW base interface is exposed as a global object, enabling clients to turn their WL surfaces into windows. Oh, okay. I forgot that I read that. Okay, I think I can get an XDG surface now. Const surface ID is id.new ID. New surface ID. Don't need that. And then I guess I can Get XDG surface. Get this. Place it there. There is an abstraction here, but I think XDG surf. What is the interface name? This protocol is deprecated and not intended for production use. For the source file user interfaces, use XDG shell. Right, okay. Where is XDG shell? That is the only reference. So how do I get the opcode and the other thing? Does the other guy use... Oh, I don't have it anymore. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Where did it go? XDG. Yeah, how did you get this? Hmm. So there must be a separate protocol XML for XDG. What if I go back? Protocol. I'm stuck. Oh, sorry, I've totally missed the message from Algoland. Yes, I'm using Zig 0.15.2. So I'm kind of not sure how to get the object ID for XDG surface. XDG, what's it called? XDG WM base. WM base object ID. Protocol extension for Wayland, which describes semantics. Windows defines two roles: WL surface roles, top level for your top level application windows, and pop-up for things like context menus, etc. With these together, you can form a tree of surfaces with the top level pop-ups, additional top levels as the leaves. The protocols also defines a positioner interface, which is used to positioning pop-ups. Okay. It's not defined in the XML. Instead, you'll find it in the Wayland protocols package. It's probably installed at a path somewhere like user share Wayland protocols table. User share Wayland protocol. User share Wayland. Not sessions. Okay. How can I find XDG shell XML? But how does Wayland know which protocol to use? Interesting. How can I find search? Oops. Search share Wayland. Okay. Is that a protocol? Oh, that's the. Can I do VI user share Wayland.xml? Interesting. I'm guessing there's no mention of XDG. Okay, so where can I find XDG? Let's see, user share XDG. Oh, there we go. G desktop portal. No, that's not it. What's the next level? Interesting. XDG. What's inside terminals? No. I'm just. Could that be user share? Oh, I mean, this is silly. I think I'll be able to search like, file. It will search the whole computer. I don't want that. Find specific file path. Linux. Maybe. Find name example.txt. I've always avoided using find. Find. Name. Is that an example? Okay. So can I do find / user / share? What's it called again? The protocol? XDG shell. I'm guessing that's a no. Oops. What about in user? Where was wayland? Oh no, I know where the path is. Well, what am I doing? Connect socket. Yeah. Echo XDG runtime dir. Oh, but that didn't have. Did it have the protocol? Oh, but that's the runtime directory. It is somewhere here on this computer. So know where it is. But I guess in the meantime I could use. Where did I find user share wayland? Here, what's here? That's where I found the wayland protocol. So if I go back, set an XDG. Are any of these XML files? No. All right. Where is con? No con. Create surface. Find XDG protocol file. I guess I could replace that. User share wayland / wayland.xml. Okay. Yep. We'll make it easier. Okay, I think that's pretty good for today. Protocol file. I think once I find the file, the rest is easy. I'm gonna rename this to wayland object. Oh no. Oh no. Because then I need a new header. Okay, let's just leave it as this for now. Figure that out tomorrow. Get surface. Okay, I think it's pretty good. Don't need that. Don't need that. All that. All right. All right. I think that was pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. I'm gonna call it today there and continue tomorrow. That was actually a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it too. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. And I shall see you back here tomorrow.